you chose to go home to train. It's kind of rare. It's kind of cool. You slept
Mhm.
in your childhood bed. You had a Notre Dame comforter. What
Oh
is it
yeah.
like going through that process at home?
Yeah, being able to be at home was what I wanted and what was most important to me. I have a very big family and have been gone at college for a while. Being able to come back and spend time with them and the people who, I love and have supported me so far, where I've gotten to. I felt like I had to go back home and be with them. I was able to get great training in where I was and got to spend time with my family. So that's why why I chose that.
Is the comforter making the trip to your next NFL city?
No, that's a good memorabilia thing. That'll be staying on the home bed. It's just like why fix it, or it's kind of there, so we didn't put a new one on. That'll be staying at home. That's not coming to the next location.
What's the one thing about playing at Notre Dame, which is very special, obviously, bright lights, a lot of pressure. What's the one thing that you would say prepared you the most for this next stage?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I was able to kind of see and I think overcome was having a lot of different coaches and understanding different coaching styles and being put in, different offenses, having different coaching styles, how they coach you, they're gonna be hard on you, they're gonna kind of let you do your own thing. So I think that was the biggest thing I took from it, the people, how they did, like how they treated me, how I was coached, met different faces, a lot of different faces. So kind of that preparation of how to, jump into any kind of environment and be able to go and talk to somebody and, kind of learn from them.
What's it been like going through this process? Where you're at home, you love your family, but you don't want to see anything. You're like, I don't want to see the mock drafts, Titans, Chargers, whatever. But your mom is like in the sauce. Like she's
Yeah.
to it. What
Oh,
is
she's
that
in it.
like?
Yeah, she's in it. My mom loves it, and she loves just kind of like checking in. I've been telling her for like 3 months now. I'm like, Mom, we're not going to know until Thursday night. Like that's just not what we're not going to know anything. And I just keep telling her that. She's like, well, this one said this or this said this. I'm like, Mom, if it's that's what the GM coming out and saying something, it really doesn't matter. Like it has no like effect if some random person on Twitter said something. Like, I'm sorry, I know you want to know, I want to know, but like it doesn't not going to give us anything.
Joe, where does she think you're going?
Oh, she doesn't even know now because I put it in her head where like I'm like, Mom, I don't know where I'm going. So if you know where I'm going, then you're even further off. So we have no idea. We're just kind of gonna find out tomorrow.
I love this whole thing for you. And then of course there's your dad. The draft is here. Everybody's looking for player comps. And the comp that you've given yourself is your dad, who's a two-time Pro Bowler, Chiefs Hall of Famer, of course, John Alt. I'm sure he's giving you a lot of advice along the way. I don't want to get into that. What about your game do you think is similar to your dad's, who also, by the way, played tight end like you did and moved to tackle in college?
Yeah, I think our physical structure is obviously similar and the kind of the way we bend, just because that's kind of how I was raised, the same athletic abilities, things he worked on, I worked on. So like kind of same bend we have. I think just overall how we move a lot very similar in how we move, we kick and slide. He had a lot bigger upper body than I did. He had really big shoulders, and I think that's like one of his best traits. He was looked huge up top. I don't quite have that yet. I aspire to have what he had, but he was very much upper body bigger than me. So that's what I'm trying to kind of aspire to, and then I feel like I'll look just like him when he played.
Listen, according to Pro Football Focus, Joe, you allowed one sack in 740 pass blocking snaps in the last 2 seasons at Notre Dame. Joe, how could you let that one sack happen?
It wasn't ideal. We try to be perfect, but you're not always gonna have it go your way. It happens every once in a while, but you go back, watch the film, learn from it, and try to get better the next week. That's how it always goes.
Joe, do you know who went and watched the film of that sack?
Whew.
Me. I went and
Mhm.
watched. I'm trying. Listen, you're Captain America. There's no holes in you. You can do everything. You're the most versatile. You don't do one thing better. Like you're amazing. I went back and I go, ha ha. He let that handsome quarterback get sacked. What went on there? This sack is crazy. Like the sack in question against Duke, I'm calling BS on PFF. Duke runs a stunt. You pick up your man, and the linebacker slips off his block and sacks. He steps up.
Hey, it is what it is. You move on. You can't always agree, disagree. You learn from it, like I said, and you try to get better and not let it happen again. That's all I can say about that.
we
Yeah.
all, it's a good answer.
Yeah.
We always ask pass rushers, who's the quarterback you want to sack in the NFL? Who's the guy you
Yeah.
want to tear apart? Who's the defensive end? You got to name one, just that you're looking forward to. Who can you not wait to block in the NFL?
I mean, there's a lot of very talented defensive ends out there. I'm always a competitor. I love going up against the best, and there's a lot of great ones out there. If you want me to give you one name, I'll say Myles Garrett. I think he's really special in what he does. I think his ability to dip, his power game, his speed game is up there as one of the best. And no, that's kind of the guy I think I would love to compete against.
Uh, we talked, and that's a good name, one of my favorites, one of the best to ever do it. And I think right now the best player in the NFL with Aaron Donald retiring. I just can't wait to watch you in the NFL. I can't wait to see it all happen. And I have this weird feeling that there's more that you can do. Like you were recruited as a tight end. You only started one game in high school on the O line. Within 3 months, you're the start and left dude for Notre Dame. It's crazy. You made it look easy. How many more levels are there to what you can do?
Yeah. The biggest thing that I like to focus on is just taking it one day at a time and continue to get a little bit better every day. What's one thing, in my game, who I am as a man, what it is, what do I got to get better? And that's how I kind of carry myself and try to do each and every day. So my goal is just to continue to get a little bit better every day, every game, every week, whatever it is. I don't look, for big jumps happening in one day. It's just I got to continue to just knock it off a little bit, work more, work harder, get that one thing that I got to improve on, feel a little better. And that's kind of how I focus on it. So, we'll see how the future holds, but I'm looking forward, just like I said, continue to work each and every day.
Because you're perfect and it's a joke that like you allowed one sack that wasn't even a sack. If you're making a to-do list of things you want to improve what's at the top of that list?
I always have one for the run, one for the pass. In the pass, I always want to improve my strike. I think when you punch somebody, you can alter their rush and their whole plan in their head. And I think that's really important. And being able to kind of take the fight to a defensive end is something that I want to get better at and continue to improve as I play. And in the run game, just always being able to be in the best position, and that's leverage wise, getting as low as I can to be able to use my leverage against him once I'm underneath him. So I think those are two things I'm always trying to work on.
How are your hands, Joe? Are you ready to be an eligible receiver in the red zone in the NFL?
I mean, I played tight end in high school, so I do have the ability. I didn't catch a ton of passes. I was a glorified tackle at tight end, but I got a couple. I mean, I got decent hands. I think I had one drop my senior year. So
Did you play a little QB back in the day?
I did. That was pre-growth. So that was me like about 6 foot, 200 pounds. I was smaller, younger Joe. But yeah, I was able to sling it a little bit, but then I kind of grew out of that, and it was like, all right, tight end for a little bit, offensive line.
I need you to throw a quarterback in the NFL. You eat a lot, you like food. Notre Dame sent you on a street food tour of New York. You gave specific number ratings to hot dogs, kebabs, bacon, egg, and cheeses, all of that. You gave those a food rating. So we thought you rate a couple of things at a very specific altimeter scale here. I'm just going to be personal from 0 to 10. What rating would you give your own guacamole that you make?
Ooh, 8.7. That's fantastic. I got a really good spin to my guac. If you have had it, you like it. If you haven't, I don't want to hear it. 8.7.
That's what you should say in those meetings. You're like, hey, Amy Strunk, you're the owner of I bring guacamole to the table.
Yeah, that's what I should say. I bring a great recipe for guac. That's what I'm going to start saying.
Most important. An ice cold beverage, 0 to 10. Hello?
7.8.
Oh, 7.
I was thinking. I was thinking. Sorry, I was processing.
No, yeah. 7.8. Yeah, I heard you microwave cold beverages. You're kind of weird.
No, okay. You got it. What? I don't microwave cold beverages. I used to. All I'm saying is, if I'm going for a glass of water, I don't want ice in it because I want to be able to drink it as fast as I can. I'm not looking for a hot beverage. When I was a kid, yeah, I might have microwaved a cold beverage once or twice, but that was when I was a kid, not since I've grown up a little bit.
0 to 10, potentially blocking Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I mean, that'd be a dream. Obviously, one of the best out there. I'm giving it a 9.4. I mean, yeah.
You're here on behalf of P&G, a company I love. I've done plenty of partnerships. They're so involved and brilliant partners of the NFL. And you've got some really exciting stuff going on in Detroit. You're not going to make it out of the top 10, but they're putting you to work. And you guys are teaming up with Meyer for the first P&G Draft House presented by Meyer. Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, so I was able to partner with Meyer and P&G. I was able to come out to Detroit and visit. Kind of big steps coming forward, moving to a new house, new city, and some of the things, you need some quality things. And, I think P&G and Meyer are ready for anything. That's the biggest thing. So, I grew up a Tide kid, so I used my entire life. My mom always had it, getting the sweat stains out of all my football gear and basketball gear, whatever it was. So grew up always using that, and it really did tackle any pile of laundry I had. And, with Meyer being a Notre Dame kid, Meyer was right on the road. I went there myself. So, very important to me. And, I'll give a little plug to Meyer. We have shoppers can use the M perks to save $15 on purchases of $50 or more on P&G products. So, I mean, for me, I would definitely be doing that because I'm from Notre Dame, South Bend right there. So I'd be hitting that up, but it's just a little offer.
Yeah, P&G products like Bounty, Gillette, Tide, like you said. I mean, you grew up in a house of 5 kids. Your mom did God's work with those P&G products, which was amazing.
Mhm.
And I think if we're being honest as we end this interview, you really went home in a smart pro tip move. You went home to train for the combine because you knew your mom would do your laundry, right?
And breakfast. Yeah.
And breakfast, I mean, breakfast and laundry, and all you're bringing to the table is guac. Come on, Joe. Get it.
Exactly. I know I should be better. She did a lot for me, and I'm really appreciative. But yeah, that was definitely a perk of being at home. I didn't have to do laundry, didn't have to make most meals. She did more than breakfast, and I was able to cook with the family. It was great. Great time.
Well, Tide has you ready for anything, and
Yep.
congrats on everything, and good luck
Thank you.
in the
I
NFL.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it, dude.